People on the internet, Georgie is sad and still not painted. He's sitting over there, I'm sitting over here. So I finally got the paint booth. I haven't unboxed it yet. It's inside this big box here. I should probably unbox it and see if everything came with it, but just came in. I gotta do a lot of stuff before George is actually ready. In the last video you saw I picked up a hardtop, which needs to get refinished. This also needs to be finished. And this spoiler that came on that car that I bought, kind of want to drill holes in it and see if I can make it work with these little hood pin things that we got going on. Just because I really like the spoiler. And I mean, I guess it's gonna suck if I drill through carbon fiber and it doesn't work, but I think I can make it happen. So instead of sanding, I'm gonna do something completely different. Something that's not exactly necessary, but I think it would be pretty cool to do. I've never actually done it before, so we'll give it a shot. Not a lot of people watch the video, but me and Ben did a torture test on the lifted Miata, and it has rod knock now.
Oh my God, no way, dude!
So, I think it'd be perfect idea to take the VVT engine out of the lifted Miata, rebuild it, and put it in little George. Might be a little in over my head, but if the engine's savable and I could do a VVT swap and maybe have an extra 40, 50 horsepower, that'd be sick. I don't have to go for a turbo. I already have this engine. Maybe we will turbo George, but George's engine is very unhealthy, so I don't think it'll last very long. So right here we have a 2004 Mazda Miata with 195,000 miles, and this thing ran like an absolute top until it wasn't. Well, I'd say probably not great. There's a lot of metal and stuff inside of there. No bueno. If you guys haven't seen that video, please go watch it. I'm so sad with how many views and everything it got, because me and Ben tried very hard on the video. It didn't do very well, but that's okay. Anyway, George got a fresh, brand new, blown up engine. Realistically, this car has some pretty good parts on it that I can try and sell. It's got a lift kit, it's got the wheels, the tires, it's got a Torsen. Axles are pretty decent, at least one of them. This one is kind of a little camber ganging, so. But has some good stuff. Don't need the transmission, got plenty of transmissions, so I could sell some stuff, sell the shocks, the subframes. Oh yeah, look at the frame, not great. So, oh yeah, and the NB Miata that I have that's totaled, I was also thinking about drilling out the spot welds here, because this one is straight, and then I could have a nice fender mount, and yeah, basically this car is destined for the scrapyard, unfortunately. I had my fun with it, and yeah, time to move on to bigger and better things. So I'm supposed to work on somebody else's car today, but while I'm waiting for their car to show up, I think I'm gonna try and pull the engine out of this car. How hard can it be? It's just a Miata. I've done Miatas before, never a VVT NB, but it'll be quick. I think I got this in like two and a half hours, done. All right, let me start pulling the shifter and stuff apart, go underneath, unhook the diff, drain the fluids, this, that, whatever, and yeah, start cracking on it. Been cracking along for a little while now, probably like half an hour, and making pretty good headway. I got the drive shaft disconnected. The axles are unbolted from the hub. The wheels are off. Next step is to get the diff out. I'm excited about getting this out because that will give me some money. So basically the engine will be free. I'm $1,300 deep into this entire excursion. $1,200 if you don't count the axle that I've replaced many times. The Duralast warranty axle was $100. So we'll say I'm $1,200 into it. That's consumable. So if I could sell the torsion diff with the drive shaft, the axles, and everything like that, that'll be a good chunk of change. As well as some other things. I could sell the lift kit with the wheels and tires. Like, somebody's gotta want the wheels and tires. So a lot of little stuff. This car has a super, super crappy roll bar that I was gonna take for George, but I actually have a different one that I will be putting inside of George that you'll find out about eventually. But somebody also wants the spoiler and everything too, so I'll try and get this engine for free. That's my goal, because it's gonna cost me like $300-400 to rebuild it. I'm assuming. Never mind. Probably like $1,000. It'll probably cost me like $1,000 to rebuild it, so we'll see. But for now, I'm gonna start cracking along again, get the diff out, and then everything down here should be good. Like, I just gotta unplug some trans wires, I think. Maybe unbolt the slave. Yeah, basically, I think I'm gonna do everything down here first, then go up top. While this is kind of dangling, I'll leave this bar here, because once I take the power plant frame off, the whole thing's gonna go, You know what, maybe I should think about this a little bit, because last time I did this, the power plant frame dipped it so much that the cam angle sensor hit the firewall. But that was in George, and this isn't George, but really want to kind of map this out. But for half an hour, not too bad. I think I'll beat my 2.5 hour time frame. I think it'll be good. So, all right, let me keep going. Everything's really sketchy on this thing, so I'm almost out with the diff. This side poking out, and then this side I can't free, but like jiggling it's super sketchy because of my whole lift situation I got going on here. So yeah, I guess wish me luck. I'm having a problem. So basically, we've got the axle stuck in here. I've been trying to wail on it, trying to do whatever I can to get it out of its home, and I also can't get it out there. The diff is practically out. It's just hanging on from nothing now. Just this axle's kind of keeping it in place, which is not great, obviously. So I need to try and finagle that axle out of this side, or just pancake it and try and get it out of here. So this is fun, but also I want to support the diff because that's the most valuable part on this entire car. So I think get a jack under here just to kind of hold it up, and then try and free that axle somehow. And it sucks because there's so much wiggle. I tried to free it while everything was together and I couldn't do it. So yeah, in quite the predicament. Yeah! I popped it out. Now, if I go down a little bit, don't pop yourself back in now. It's still just so stuck in there. Come on, little Diffy. Shoot. Okay, the Diffy is out, and I forgot to drain the frickin' oil, which is awesome. So that spewed out where the axle goes. That's very nice. That's what you want. So I gotta drain that. That axle is stuck in there, which is not ideal. And I had to take that strut out too. So I got a lot of putting back together, honestly. So, and I kind of need the lift later to work on somebody's car. But yeah, I guess I'll cross that bridge when I get there. For now, I don't know what to do. like that. I think the engine is ready to come out. It's got no fuel going to the engine, no coolant, power steering's drained. I believe I got all the wiring. There's probably a hidden ground somewhere that will stop me, and I'll probably cut it. I mean, this whole thing is gonna have to get refreshed anyway, so gonna get the cherry picker set up. It moves pretty good. Oh God, yeah, don't do that. So it's just got the 2 engine mounts holding it in place. The only thing that's gonna be a pain in the ass is getting it to clear, probably just the oxygen sensor. I couldn't get it out. So just getting the oxygen sensor to clear the steering shaft over here. And yeah, I didn't take the radiator out or anything either. So hopefully I can just peel the wheels off and it will go low enough to where it's not a problem. But we'll find out. A little Harbor Freight cherry picker that could. It's picked up many engines. Old and strong. So I forgot about the AC. I'm not gonna film that because I'm gonna do it absolutely properly and evacuate the AC system to code. Trust me, that's how we do it. Gonna evacuate it properly into a tank, not into the atmosphere. Don't do that. It's definitely evacuating properly into the canister. Yep. I got myself a fish. It's a 300 pounder. 300 pounders fish, baby. I'm not a fisher guy. I'm not a fish man. So we got the engine out. It's not that bad. Hopefully everything is fixable on the inside, or else that was kind of a waste of time. But I think it will be worthwhile to VBT swap George. And yeah, get this thing out of my life. I don't need to jump any off-roaded Miatas anytime soon. All right, so it took me 3.5 hours, which is a little disappointing. The diff kind of did me dirty. That's the only reason I didn't get it out. But we have our engine for Cousin George. That's an extra one. Bye, Alec. Thank you. Peace. So it's going to be a challenge for me to figure out how to wire up all this VVT fun stuff into a 1.6 Miata. I know it's been done a million times, so I'm sure I can figure it out. Now I got to figure out what is worth keeping on this car. I think I'm going to try and sell the roll bar, sell the diff, sell the lift kit, the tires, the exhaust, skid plate. Pretty much anything that's worth anything I'm going to sell to try and recoup some funds and try and make this a cheap and budget-friendly swap for George. So we will have to see how things go. Don't worry, I will be painting George. I gotta unbox this, gotta do a little bit more paint work. It's just been super busy lately, and I'm trying to figure some stuff out. Really thinking. This car is fantastic. No, it's not, but I'm pretending like it is. He is a work in progress, and he will be an absolute catfish of a car. Seriously, he's gonna look very good, and he's not. So it's gonna be interesting. Maybe one day George will be a good car. Maybe. I mean, he'll never be a solid car. He's got bent frame rails, lots of rust, crappy coilovers, and all sorts of fun stuff going on with him. But I think in the budget way, I could turbo him, I could do all sorts of stuff, but this is like the cheapest option somehow. I mean, I'll have to get a standalone ECU in order to run the VBT engine inside of George. I can get a Speeduino and everything to run it for probably like $300. So $300 for that, rebuild kit, hopefully sell all this stuff to recoup some of the funds and pay for the swap and the rebuild. And I've never rebuilt an engine either, so. But for now, I'm gonna call it a day. I have so much stuff to clean up. I'm supposed to be working on a couple customer cars today, and it's coming up quick. So I gotta figure out a good way to get all this stuff off, to get this thing off the lift and get all this stuff out of here and pull the transmission off and get it on a stand. And oh man, I am a little in over my head at the moment, but we're gonna make it happen, Captain. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. I know this one was it's an interesting one. I'm not painting George today, unfortunately, but my goal is to get him primed within the next 3 or 4 days, and I'm gonna use the paint booth. So stay tuned, subscribe. Thank you guys so much. Peace out.